In ancient Egypt, the title of pharaoh wasn't held by a mere king, but by a man demanding his subjects worship him as a living god. He ruled with a total grip on the lives of his people, allowing no room for any authority but his own. He projected this claimed divinity through architecture designed to intimidate. These four-seated statues at Abu Simbel, carved directly into the cliffside, served as a constant reminder of his empire's scale and the perceived insignificance of those who lived within it. When he felt threatened by the growing numbers of the Israelites, he issued a decree to systematically murder their newborn sons. This wasn't a tactical move. It was an attempt to kill the future of a people before they could ever think to resist. His soldiers monitored the streets, ensuring the city remained a place where fear outweighed the desire for dissent. He operated on the assumption that if he could control every physical body in Egypt, his throne would remain invulnerable forever. Living at the center of this regime was Hazrat Asiya, the Queen of Egypt. She walked the royal palace halls, surrounded by the same imposing temple walls and obelisks that signaled her husband's absolute power to the world. Her status was signaled by extreme material wealth. Artifacts like this gold cuff and lapis lazuli pendant were the standard of her daily life, marking her as the empire's most powerful woman. Yet while Pharaoh called himself a god, Asiya was known to the people as ul-Masakin, the mother of the poor. While the king demanded tribute, the queen was privately distributing it back to those he oppressed. The man who believed he owned the heart of every Egyptian failed to realize he didn't even own the heart of the woman sitting next to him. To save her son from the executioners, Musa's mother placed him in a sealed box and set him adrift on the Nile. The current carried the infant past the pyramids, leaving him exposed to the river and the elements. The river didn't take him away from the danger. It carried him directly into a canal that flowed underneath the royal palace walls. When Asiya spotted the box and ordered it opened, the child's presence had an immediate effect on her. Despite the risk of her husband's decree, she chose to claim the boy as her own. Asiya used her royal authority to shield the child, ensuring the boy Pharaoh wanted dead was instead raised in luxury behind these palace doors. Pharaoh's own house became the one place his executioners couldn't reach, protected by the love of his own wife. Years later, Musa returned to the court as an adult, no longer a prince of Egypt, but a prophet. He publicly challenged Pharaoh, demanding the freedom of the Israelites in the name of a single, unseen God. Watching Musa's staff transform into a living creature changed everything for Asiya. She saw the empire's finest magicians bow in submission, and in that moment, she accepted the truth they did. She spent the following years in hidden worship, living as the queen of an empire, while secretly following the religion of a man her husband considered a rebel. Eventually, the secret reached Pharaoh's spies. He summoned her to the throne room, demanding to know if his own queen had turned against him. She didn't hesitate. When asked who she worshipped, Asiya named the Lord of Musa, placing the god of a slave above the king on the throne. Pharaoh first tried to lure her back with the promise of continued royalty. He offered to forget her words if she would simply return to the comfort and status of her old life. The choice was now between the visible wealth of the Egyptian empire and the conviction she held in her heart. When the promise of luxury failed to move her, Pharaoh turned to the only other tool he had: physical force. He ordered his guards to drag the queen into the desert and pin her down against the scorching sand, leaving her exposed to the full heat of the sun. Even during the torture, Pharaoh offered a way out. He paced around her, telling her she could return to the palace shade if she would only take back her declaration. Asiya ignored him. Instead, she spoke a final prayer, asking for a house in paradise and protection from the actions of a tyrant. The man who claimed to own the sun and the Nile was now using every ounce of his power on a single woman, only to find that his reach ended exactly where her skin began. In his frustration, Pharaoh ordered a massive stone dropped to crush her. But according to the tradition, as the stone fell, the veil was lifted. Asiya saw the palace built for her in the next life, and she died with a smile. The remains of Pharaoh's reign today are nothing but broken stone. Looking at this fallen colossus, it's clear that the physical power he spent his life building was always subject to decay. While the names of the various pharaohs are studied as history, Asiya is revered in the Islamic tradition as a woman who reached spiritual perfection, standing alongside Maryam and Khadijah. An empire built on stone and fear eventually crumbles into the sand, but a single voice speaking a conviction outlives the statues built to silence it.